It finally happened as the Toronto Blue Jays have extended Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It was a long time coming. He ends up signing one of the largest deals in Major League Baseball history. And truth be told, he will be a Blue Jay for the rest of his baseball career. Massive development, landscape changing development for the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll break it down and much more on this episode of 3 Up 3 Now. Welcome in everybody to 3 Up 3 Down. I'm your host Peter Vryonis, and it finally happened. Oh, I woke up this morning chipper. I found out last night that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was going to be a Blue Jay for the rest of his baseball career, but I woke up this morning and I felt good. As a Blue Jay fan, I felt that all was right in the world, that Vladdy would be on the team for the rest of his career until his age 40 season. It's a lot of money, and we'll get into it right now, but make sure to hit that subscribe button because a large percentage of you who are watching these are not subscribed to the channel. And if you're a Blue Jay fan, I think this news alone is worth a subscribe, a click from you guys. So shout out for all the support. Let's keep it going. But yeah, let's get into the move here. Vladdy and the Blue Jays are in agreement on a 14-year, $500 million extension pending physical. A monumental, no deferral deal to keep the homegrown star in Toronto for the rest of his career. So Ken Rosenthal was first on the news, but Jeff Passan, he is the most reliable guy out there, so I went with Jeff Passan's tweet. This was or early this morning, I guess you could call it, just after midnight Eastern time. And it's official. It is official. Vladdy is going to be a Blue Jay for the rest of his career. And by signing Vladdy to a long-term deal, the Blue Jays also commit to a direction. They'll now try to build around a homegrown superstar and win with him, plus Santander, Jimenez, and Kirk, instead of letting him test free agency and seeing what happens. Now, I see some people, the same people that were saying they couldn't wait to see Vladdy on their favorite team, now calling this deal an overpay. And yes, it is an overpay. I believe every player in Major League Baseball is overpaid, except for maybe a handful of guys. And those handful is it's Bryce Harper, who is on a bargain deal right now and one of the better contributors in Major League Baseball, and Shohei Ohtani, who generated over $150 million of revenue for the Dodgers in his first season after signing a $700 million deal. Everyone apart from that, I don't know if you're getting full value, dollar for dollar. I just don't think you are. So yes, you had to overpay a little bit, but in the same sense, you could not afford to lose Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And that was the position that the Blue Jays were in. They couldn't afford to lose him. So I rather you overpay than and swallow your pride than being egotistical and trying to take this into free agency. Vladdy gave them a deadline. It was spring training. They ended up getting the deal done 10 games into the season. So it wasn't a concrete deadline that Vladdy gave them. There was some wiggle room there, and the Blue Jays kept working. So credit to Mark Shapiro, credit to Ross Atkins, because they get a lot of hate. But I I want the hate to be as loud as the praise to be as loud as the hate here, because they got this right. And yes, it's an overpay. Yes, it's probably not going to age well. I mean, if Vladdy is a productive player in his age 40 season, I will tip my cap to both sides for getting the most out of each other over those 14 years. But he's going to go down as the greatest Blue Jay of all time. Hopefully there's a World Series trophy sprinkled in there. But Vladdy is currently amassed over 21 wins above replacement. The leader for the franchise is Jose Bautista at around 38. Vladdy is going to crush that number. He's going to be the most valuable Blue Jay ever, the greatest Blue Jay ever. He's going to go into Cooperstown wearing a Blue Jays cap. There's a full no trade clause in the deal. This is everything you could have hoped for as a Toronto Blue Jay fan. And I don't care if it's an overpay. I don't care if they waited too long to get this done. I don't care if there was some damage along the way between the two sides. All is right in the world. Vladdy is a Blue Jay for the rest of his life. And it's a seismic moment for the Blue Jays organization. A team that has struggled to attract superstar talent. They finally get their guy. And the extension resets the clock, positions them to continue their aggressive spending long term. It's over. Vladdy is staying in Toronto for good. And this is the kind of news that you want to hear as a Blue Jay fan. Uh, it's the second biggest guaranteed deal in Major League Baseball history. $500 million, no deferrals. It's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable, and I'm so happy that this got done. I mean, shout out to Nick over at Jay's Digest for being first on the news. I was never going to beat him to it, but everyone can collectively agree that this had to get done, and it did get done. And Ross Atkins, Mark Shapiro, Ed Rogers, they deserve all the credit in the world for getting this thing done. And good for them. Good for them. They needed this. They desperately needed this. And it happened. So, Vladdy, Blue Jay for life. I don't have to burn my jersey. I wasn't going to do it anyways because he's my favorite player. But, man, am I happy this morning. It needed to happen. It happened. Here we are. Amazing news. There's just no other way to put it. I'm really happy. I'm really happy about this. And Vladdy, I respect him a great deal. Because not once in this process did he lie. And maybe there were some leverage plays by both sides. Both sides maybe tried to get the upper hand on the deal. Vladdy ultimately got what he wanted because he had the leverage here. He was going on podcasts, not trashing the franchise, but saying like what he wanted. And it finally got done. So Vladdy said he wanted to be a Blue Jay for life. And he signed on the dotted line. So it's a lot of money for a first baseman. Takes him into his age 40 season. We've seen those deals not work out before. But I don't care. Because you have him locked up, and I think he's going to give you 10 great years. Up until his age 36 season, I think that's reasonable. Maybe even 34. Okay, so I think you're getting at least 8 great years out of Vladdy. And maybe the 6 aren't going to be great, but by that time, I mean, the money will just be an object at that point. So good for him. He got paid. He made good on his promise of wanting to be a Blue Jay for life, and he was authentic the entire way, throughout the entire process. So thank you, Vladdy, for believing in this team, for believing in its fans, for believing in the country, and wanting to remain a Blue Jay for life. I'm sure it's a big regret of Montreal Expos fans that they weren't able to keep Vladimir Guerrero Sr. aboard for his entire career. He ended up going into Cooperstown with an Angels cap. Vladdy is going to end up going into Cooperstown with a Blue Jay cap on his plaque. And I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. So thank you, Vladdy. Thank you, Blue Jays. It's going to be an amazing 14 years, and I can't wait for this ride to get started as soon as tonight when the Blue Jays start a new series after getting swept by the Mets. And the ovation that Vladdy is going to get at home, it's going to be unbelievable. I love you, Vladdy. I love you, Blue Jays. Amazing. Let's go.